The death of activist Karima Baloch is shrouded in a fair bit of mystery. The Baloch Human Rights Council has demanded that the United Nations should intervene to ensure a fair probe into Karima Baloch's death. In a letter, the Council's executive president, or Dr. Nasir Dashti, has asked the United Nations Chief Antonio Guterres to take cognizance of Karima's mysterious death in Toronto. The letter has drawn the attention of Guterres towards human rights violations in Balochistan and also the elimination of many of these Baloch activists, even when they are seeking refuge outside, seeking asylum outside of Pakistan. Nearly about 50 activists, journalists and intellectuals from around the world have expressed concern. Karima Baloch's dead body, remember, was found in the Ontario Lake at the Toronto Harbour last week. Now, Karima's family and supporters say that her death warrants a closer examination by the police in Canada. Protests were also triggered in many parts of Pakistan and also in Toronto, where people were out on the streets demanding that there should be a proper investigation into the death of Karima Baloch. The protest demonstrations were held in different places in Pakistan, for instance in Karachi and also in Quetta, in solidarity with Karima Baloch. The protest also took place in Toronto, just outside of the police headquarters, where quite a few supporters gathered and demanded that the police should carry out a high-level investigation into the circumstances leading to the death of Karima Baloch. The family members, including Baloch's husband, Hamal Haider, has said that the activist had been receiving threat calls and also abusive messages on social media. Now, there were anonymous messages that reportedly had warned Karima Baloch of an ominous Christmas present that she would never forget. Now, Karima's younger sister, Mahganj, has said that Karima had many dreams and that she actually encouraged positive thinking. And these accounts make it pretty apparent that Karima was not depressed. And to some extent, it even refutes the claims of suicide being floated by some. The activist, who's been pretty vocal about enforced disappearances in Balochistan province, had sought asylum in Canada after escaping an attack in Pakistan. She had called out Pakistani army's atrocities in the rest of the province. Now, I earlier spoke with a close friend and confidant of Karima Baloch in Canada, Kiran Nazish. She joined me a little while back from Canada. She's a teacher and a journalist and also one of the teachers of Karima Baloch while she was pursuing her studies at the university in Toronto. And I spoke to her about the circumstances leading to the death of Karima Baloch, and this is what she had to say.
This is part of the several, like she has been getting threats for a long while. This particular message was sent to one of her family members. So of course it was alarming, and of course that she was worried. It increased the worries for her. But as you can imagine, as an activist who has been getting these threats for a long while, it also sometimes becomes monotonous as well. So I think that she wasn't sure, but she was certainly afraid. This kind of threat method is something that we've seen before in the way Baloch activists are targeted, whether they're in Pakistan or abroad, by the intelligence agencies. And then sometimes their bodies are found and sometimes they're physically attacked by, which can be linked to the military establishment. So I do think that the methodology really is kind of trademark of what the Pakistani military does.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.